All right, so you've built up your secondary battery, you've maybe built up your primary battery, and now you're looking at how you're going to manage your new power systems or the power systems that you currently have and you just want to do it better. These are good questions. And the management and the controlling of your batteries is really what is going to preserve them for the long haul. So let's start at the basics. Your vehicle gets its power from an alternator. The engine spins, it spins a belt, it puts out, it generates electricity, sends it to your primary battery. From there, your primary battery is being depleted by all the resources that you have connected to it. So sometimes you have a secondary battery to help with that workload. When you get into auxiliary batteries, you're going to have to really start thinking about controllers. And there's a wide range of how they work and what they do. So starting at the very basics, we would recommend a smart solenoid of some kind. This is the Red Arc smart solenoid, and basically what it does is it reads the voltage of the primary start battery. When it knows that it's happy and it's at the right voltage that it should be at, it then clicks on the solenoid to start charging a secondary battery, which is probably what your fridge and your lights and your ham radio or whatever may be attached to. That's the most basic system. It just works. It only has a really small red light that turns on. You'd have to look under the hood to see what it's doing. Okay, beyond that, we can get into more advanced systems. For example, this BCDC 1240 by Red Arc. The BCDC 1240 has the ability to manage different types of batteries, lead acid to lithium. It has the proper algorithms inside of it to properly charge through float or direct power that type of battery so that it lasts a long time. And what I mean by lasts a long time, it is preserved over years. It's not being abused. It's being pampered the way it wants to be. When you get into more advanced systems like a BCDC 1240 or above, it has a higher charging rate, so it allows the batteries, secondary batteries, to charge faster. It has alternate inputs, which allows, say, solar to come in. And some of these, like the Red Arc, has a green priority, which will allow the solar panel to be the primary source if it sees power from the sun versus your alternator, saving your alternator. Power managers really allow you to see and get an in-depth look at what's going on inside your power systems. They can do a lot of the same things that like a BCDC 1240 controller does, but a lot of times it has the ability to visually monitor and change things with inputs from you, such as the Manager 30 from Red Arc. Manager 30 from Red Arc will allow you to see what's being powered, how much is going to it, the rate of discharge, how long until the battery is flat, if it's charging, how long until the battery is fully charged at the current depletion rates of other equipment, etc. It can be extremely useful, especially if you're basically living out of a vehicle and having to run a lot of systems. Getting into a power management system is well worth the money. Things to consider when it comes to battery controllers and managers are the charging amps, how fast or how much power can go from one battery to the next. Also, solar considerations. In your build, either now or in the future, are you going to want solar inputs? And if you do, buy the controller perhaps now that allows for that to make it plug and play down the road. So one last thing that we should consider when managing our batteries is what we should do when we're not using our vehicles. Having a good controller and charger and maintainer at home is really important. Being able to plug your vehicle in at home will maintain those batteries and ensure that you're ready to go when your trip comes up. In our experience, when the trucks come in from being on big expeditions and they're going to sit for a while, they all get plugged in, and we know that when we leave again, we unplug them and all those batteries are as healthy as they were when they came in, and we're ready to go. A few things to consider with shore power management. Does it have a repair mode, a conditioning mode that allows your AGM to be conditioned appropriately with power, especially if it was depleted beyond what it should have been? These can really help save a battery in that situation. And then that they have a good float. When they come up to the voltage, they've got the proper maintainer to be able to keep that battery happy for a long period of dormancy. So there you have it. Power management and power control is a big deal. It's going to perhaps be the difference of you being stranded or being able to stay out longer. So take careful consideration in how you're going to manage your batteries.